Hi everyone, it's our second day in Vienna. I woke up early today because we're in for a really long and exciting day. First, we're heading to a special place, one of Vienna's most famous and most visited attractions, Schönbrunn Palace. Once the summer residence of the Habsburg family, Schönbrunn Palace is a place of grandeur and history. Imagine this. Everything sparkles. Everything is magnificent, and nearly every room holds a piece of the past. The palace has over 1,400 rooms, and I'm starting the day with the Grand Tour, which means I'll take you through the most impressive and ornate halls. And that's just the beginning. Later today, I'll show you the oldest continuously operating zoo in the world, also located right here on the palace grounds. We'll visit the Palm House, where we'll walk among tropical plants, and the Desert House, where we'll discover how plants and animals survive in the driest regions of the world. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I told you it's going to be a long day. Let's start with the Grand Tour walk, before the crowds arrive. And here we go, the Grand Tour begins. This tour lets us explore the most beautiful and opulent rooms of the palace. It truly feels like I've stepped back in time to the era of the Habsburgs. The rooms have been beautifully preserved in their original splendour. Gilded walls, monumental mirrors, chandeliers, and traces of imperial life everywhere you look. The good news is that audio guides are available in quite a few languages. It gives detailed insights into the historical background and helps you navigate through the rooms. I highly recommend it. It truly adds so much more to the experience. We've just stepped into a truly special room. This is one of Empress Elizabeth's or Sisi's suites. Take a look at how delicately feminine the decor is. The walls are covered in floral patterned silk wallpaper with gilded details, and the furniture reflects the elegant style of the 19th century. Now we're stepping into one of Schönbrunn Palace's dining rooms. This is likely how it looked when the imperial family had their everyday lunches together. The table is elegantly set, surrounded by beautifully carved red velvet chairs, and of course, the chandeliers are a must. On the wall hangs a portrait of Emperor Franz Joseph, who was known for his incredible discipline throughout his life. He was said to eat at the exact same time every day, and if someone was late, they simply wouldn't wait. For him, order and punctuality were almost sacred. I've just arrived in a truly breathtaking room. This is the Great Gallery, the most beautiful and most impressive hall of Schönbrunn Palace. The room is nearly 40 meters long, and every single square centimeter speaks of grandeur. Gilded walls, enormous mirrors, crystal chandeliers, and a magnificent ceiling fresco that depicts the glory of the Habsburgs. This is where imperial balls, receptions, and important political events were held. I can imagine the guests slowly walking through the hall in silk dresses and tailcoats, while music plays and everything sparkles. The space is truly enchanting. It feels both monumental and ceremonial, like I've stepped into a historical film. This is the black and gold Chinese room. It has a completely different atmosphere compared to the gilded ballrooms. Here, everything is dark, shiny, and mystical. The walls are covered with original Chinese lacquered panels, filled with intricate golden paintings. This room perfectly reflects how fascinated the Habsburgs were with Eastern cultures. Maria Theresa, for example, loved such exotic decorations. She likely received her most important guests here, or had private conversations with politicians and ambassadors in this intimate space. This small room feels like a kind of time travel into the Emperor's childhood. In the painting, for example, we see Franz Joseph himself as a young child, dressed in an elegant ceremonial outfit, holding a flower garland in his hand. In the background, there is an older Habsburg ruler, most likely his grandfather, Emperor Francis I, who was also an important figure in the Habsburg dynasty. And this is the porcelain room, or as many call it, the blue and white Chinese-style salon. At first glance, you might think the walls are covered with porcelain panels, but in reality, these are hand-painted images placed in wooden frames designed to look like porcelain plaques. We are now in a special room, often referred to as a private chamber or Rococo salon. The walls are covered in dark brown, high-gloss lacquered wood, interwoven with gilded decorations, and each small panel features a painted scene. This style was very fashionable in the second half of the 18th century, especially at the Habsburg court. This kind of Oriental-inspired dream world was considered a true sensation at the time. The room was likely used for private meetings, quiet conversations, or even for listening to music or reading. I've now entered an exceptionally special and moving room. This was Emperor Franz Joseph's bedroom, and also the place where he passed away in 1916. The ornate canopy bed, now displayed behind glass, stands exactly where the Emperor spent his final days. Throughout his long 68-year reign, Franz Joseph maintained an obsessive respect for order. Even before his death, he woke up at the same time every morning, worked tirelessly, and barely rested. He passed away here in this modest room while all of Europe was already engulfed in the flames of the First World War. Franz Joseph's life and death somehow seemed to condense into this small space. Discipline, duty, and the weight of history carried on one man's shoulders for decades. But now our indoor walk is coming to an end, and we'll soon step out from the shadow of history and continue the day in the sunshine, because Schönbrunn Palace still has plenty more to offer. Next stop, the palace gardens, and from there we'll head to the world's oldest zoo. Time for a bit of nature, and maybe a coffee too. Stay with me. The next vlog episode is coming soon.